Hey Canucks fans, Tyler Motte will not be ready for the start of training camp, and Elias Pettersson has left Vancouver to go to Michigan to hang out with Quinn Hughes. I'm Canuck Clay. I'm the founder of the GLCPC, the Good Looking Canucks Positivity Club. This is my Canucks take on One Take. It's Clay's Canucks commentary for Tuesday, September the 21st. If you're new, this is what you should do. Hit the subscribe button now for daily Canucks insight that's positive, timely, and trustworthy. And as always, this vlog is brought to you by Perform and Transform, personal training and weight loss. Sign up at the link below in my description for a free 7-day trial. Two pretty big news stories that I want to talk about, each of them. One of them, Tyler Motte, the other one about Pettersson leaving Vancouver. Let's start with Tyler Motte. Actually, before I get to that, I just want to give a shout out to everyone that I met and hung out with, volunteered with, especially Brent and Carly and James at the Jake Milford Charity Golf Tournament yesterday. A lot of fun. No Canucks players and coaches this year because of COVID, but still got a chance to meet some media and especially a lot of Canucks alumni, including Kirk McLean, Thomas Gerdine, Darcy Rhoda, and others. So, it was a good day and happy to volunteer for a great cause, the Canucks for Kids Fund. Okay, let's talk about Tyler Motte. He will not be ready for training camp. In fact, he will be reevaluated in 3 weeks. So what's up with him? Well, he only played 24 games last season. He missed some games because of COVID, and then he didn't play all of May when the Canucks were playing late into May because his last game was against Toronto, where I believe there's a worry about a head injury and maybe a leg injury as well. Then the Canucks were pretty quiet about Tyler Motte's absence. There were other stuff that we were worried about, including winding down the season, COVID, Travis Green extension, all those things. And then in the offseason, there's so much been going on that we really haven't heard much about Motte. We started to hear rumors about a month ago that he wouldn't be ready for the start of the season, and that was confirmed to be true just yesterday. So let's talk about his injury, and then let's talk about the impact on the lineup and training camp. I think it's being acknowledged. I think Thomas Drance acknowledged it in his article from The Athletic last night that Tyler Motte did suffer a concussion or had concussion issues at the end of last season. But the surgery that he was recovering from is likely, you can't have a surgery to replace concussions or to recover from concussions. So it might be a leg injury. It could be upper body. We don't know what it is. The Canucks have been very quiet with respect to this particular injury, but it's because of whatever injury he's recovering from, the surgery to repair that injury, I should say, that is going to keep him out of the lineup for the start of training camp, physicals on Wednesday, and on ice starting on Thursday. So we hope for a quick recovery for Tyler Motte. Again, it's pretty quiet and not a lot of rumblings about his injuries, but it sounds pretty serious, at least if he hasn't really been able to do much over the offseason, and especially if he's going to put him behind by at least 3 weeks. So we hope for the best for him, and the Canucks are a lot better when he's in the lineup, considering in his 24 games last year, he had 9 points and 6 of them goals. So that's pretty good production for a, quote, a fourth line player. Obviously very important on our penalty kill as well. The interesting thing about training camp is we were slotting in Motte on Sutter's left wing, and then now you just need one other winger to play with them. And we're talking about Highmore versus McEwen, and then other guys having an outside shot. Well, if Tyler Motte indeed isn't ready for the start of the regular season, then now you have 2 fourth line spots that guys can audition for and jobs that they can win with Brandon Sutter in the middle. So I still think Matthew Highmore takes one of those spots. But now, who gets that other spot? Is it Zach McEwen, who I've said I don't know if Travis Green trusts on a full-time basis? Or is it one of our depth players? Is it Justin Bailey? Is it Phil DiGiuseppe? Is it Nick Patan? Is it Justin Dooling? Is it Will Lockwood? Is it Klimovich making a surprise? So there's so many options. There's about 6, 7, 8 guys that you could argue could have a shot at winning that 12th forward spot. And then, of course, you got to take another 1 or 2 as healthy scratches. So if Tyler Motte is not ready for the start of the season, it's a huge opportunity for someone. I think Matthew Highmore takes one spot and then a battle for that other spot. So that will be something to keep an eye on going forward for sure. And most importantly, we wish Tyler Motte a quick recovery, continued recovery from his surgery. The other big story that started making its rounds last night, confirmed by a few people, that Pettersson has left Vancouver just 48 hours after arriving here to go train with Quinn Hughes in Michigan. Of course, PD and Hughes still unsigned as of today. I vlogged about it yesterday. I seem to be vlogging about it every few days, but it's going to be the biggest story heading into training camp, throughout training camp, basically until these two guys are signed. Now, the optics are the nuance of the reason that PD going down to train with Hughes, kind of interesting. Obviously, they're not going to be playing video games 24/7. They are training. They are still getting ready for the season because, of course, they're going to be on the ice for the Canucks eventually sometime this season. Hopefully, they don't miss a lot of time. But I will admit, for the past few months, I've been saying, let's not worry about their contracts until the week of training camp. And look where we are. We are in the week of training camp. Physicals on Wednesday, like I said, and on ice starting on Thursday. So, are PD and Hughes going to be there at the start of camp? It doesn't seem so. If otherwise, why would PD take off, now to go down there when camp's starting in a couple of days? So unfortunately, this means we might be in for a few more days, maybe even a couple more weeks, a week or two of waiting, of negotiating, and at least Pettersson and Hughes, they are training together. And we know that they are represented by the same agency. So does that give the agency more bargaining power? Yes and no. They're the biggest agency in the sports world. So they've done these things before. They know the Canucks situation. They know how much the limited cap space the Canucks have. So, and as I talked about in my vlog yesterday, that's why we're likely looking at bridge deals for PD and Hughes. Just easier to complete, easier to pay. And then, of course, likely kicking the can down the road where there's going to be likely bigger payouts for both of them. But for everyone getting excited about PD coming into town and whether that meant that he was going to be signed soon or that he wanted to be around the guys. No, he has taken off to go south of the border. So, and he's going to be training with Quinn Hughes there. I'm fine with it. Brock Besser on the radio was interviewed. Remember, Brock Besser missed training camp 2 seasons ago as he was getting his new contract. And he says the pressure point isn't really the start of training camp. The pressure point is the start of the regular season. He is confident that Hughes and PD will get signed by the start of the season, and he's not worried about anything in the locker room. And that's kind of what I've talked about before too, is I don't worry that this is causing dissension in the locker room. I think players know that it's a business, and ultimately, technically, the better that PD and Hughes do, the better overall that players will do from a standpoint of they want PD and Hughes to get big contracts. And then because it'll help them in their future negotiations as the Canucks develop an internal salary cap, if that makes sense, or at least a salary range. So that's pretty big news, the fact that PD's going there. I'm not going to overreact to it. It just means that him and Hughes continue to work out, can push each other, because I'm sure doing that, working out and having each other's company is better than one guy being one place. Well, I guess it'd be fine if they were both in Vancouver, but as of now, they're both in another country and training together while their agents continue to work with Jim Benning, hopefully getting to an agreement sometime soon. So those are the two big stories for today. Tyler Motte not ready for the start of training camp. And then there will be a roster battle for likely his spot if he's not ready to start the season. And Elias Pettersson going down to Michigan to train with Quinn Hughes and prepare for the season whenever the start of that season is for those two guys. So Canucks fans, in the comments below, let me know. Maybe you can talk about the fourth line battle, or you can talk about the PD flying down to Michigan, whatever you want. Let me know your thoughts on either of those two topics. I would love to redirect and reply the best that I can. Shout out to my hero members, nucksfan number 29, Justin Credible, Lucas Gates, and Andrew Chang, and to Hall of Fame members Jens95, Sim Alexander, Chris Seifert, Adam Broomfield, and Shannon Hollingworth. Thanks to the support of all members of all levels. I appreciate you. You are listed in my video descriptions. And if you want to become a member of the CCC Crew, press the join button underneath this or in my videos on the memberships tab on my YouTube channel. As well, thanks to everyone who joined Parker and me for a wonderful show, Canucks After Dark. Last night, we had our second biggest audience ever. You can tell that people are getting ready, excited for the Vancouver Canucks season. Okay, friends, subscribe if you'd like to. Like this video if you'd like to. Become a member of this channel if you'd like to. And leave a comment below. Tell me about this news about Tyler Motte. Does it surprise you? Does it make you nervous? And Quinn Hughes being joined by Pettersson in Michigan. How do you feel about that as well? Let me know in the comments below. Stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, and take care of each other. Have a great day. God bless, and go Canucks go.